I have quite a bit to say before public comment, a little bit of information, and then direction. So I know that many of you are here to talk about the applications recently submitted, the E-zone applications or enterprise zone applications recently submitted by data center developers. Thank you all for coming to make your voices heard, and we look forward to hearing them. I did want to let you know, before you speak, please know that this flurry of enterprise zone applications is in response to House Bill 4084, also known as the Economic Development Bill. 4084 was passed to improve Oregon's ability to retain and attract business, and that's all business, not just data centers, and includes businesses that bring jobs and data centers and other opportunities. So just before House Bill 4084 passed, there was a group of legislators that added a moratorium amendment to this bill to stop data centers from receiving new enterprise zone tax abatements. And the moratorium goes into effect on June 6th. So if you are here to testify about the moratoriums, that's great. We'd be happy to hear from you. But I want to let you know that this has come from the state. And the moratoriums have been put in place and added as an addendum to House Bill 4084 to put that moratorium in, and that came from legislators. So I just want to let you know. This moratorium has caused data centers to apply for enterprise zone applications, or to apply for the enterprise zone abatement now, so they could take advantage of the enterprise zones. And so the way I equate this is that if you were going to make a large purchase and you heard that there was going to be a sale, let's say you were going to make the purchase later, but you heard there was a sale now, you go and make that sale, or you go and make that purchase now, because the deal is happening now. So I just wanted to let you know that this is a state law, and we must abide by the state law, and we are happy to listen to you tonight, but I just wanted to let you know that. And you should also know that Council President Harris recommended that staff look at all issues surrounding data centers in the last meeting we had, and we are in the process of doing that. Staff is looking at that. So again, we're happy to hear from you, but please know that these data center developers are applying for E-zone applications as a result of state law and the legislators who instituted the moratorium. Thanks. And Jacob Roloff, you have 3 minutes.
Good evening, councilors and mayor. I am genuinely shocked and angry at the reporting from the Oregonian today about newly approved enterprise zone tax breaks, at least 13 new agreements. As Dirk said, every single one signed by Dan Diaz. Some of them appear to be placeholders where there's not even a constructed building and site prep doesn't even begin until the 2040s. How can the city possibly justify these agreements right before the moratorium on those breaks goes into effect? Although the names of the companies were redacted in the list of applications, they were easily removed and revealed nearly to be all data center operators like NTT and Digital Realty. Digital Realty, which is 25% owned majority by BlackRock and Vanguard, who manage over $20 trillion in assets. So why is our city allowing them to get tax breaks at the expense of our county and schools? The mayor is constantly mentioning and bragging about our new police station, which required no new taxes, and others never forget to mention the various fees we charge these data centers. None of it benefits the county or the schools. And with the speed of technological development, these facilities will likely bring in new equipment and qualify for tax break renewals. I hear from you all that Hillsboro and our county is an economic hub of our state. We seem to be leaving our county and state totally out of the equation for these agreements, and it cannot continue as schools close and budgets falter. I personally live in the county, but not in the city limits. I cannot vote any of you out of office for these terrible decisions, nor can I challenge your position in an election. My son will live with the ramifications of these facilities for years to come, and you all need to get a lot more creative in your treatment of this destructive industry. Even Council President Harris is quoted in the Oregonian article as saying the decision to sign long-term deals just before the state's moratorium raises questions. I believe this could be a point where we need to have a discussion. That point should be today or the next meeting. Part of that discussion should be in the replacement of Dan Diaz as Economic Development Director. He seems to be playing at real estate czar instead of developing a dynamic economy. Likewise, I think this mismanagement should warrant a new city manager, and although I voted for the mayor when I lived in city limits, I now think voters should consider seriously a recall due to the relationship with landowners invested in further expansion of these extractive facilities. The schools and the people of the city and county deserve representative leadership and a livable world for tomorrow, and they're just not getting it.
Next up is Aaron Nichols. And Denise Kerr, you can take the empty seat. Aaron, hello, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mayor Pace. My name is Aaron Nichols. I'm here to discuss data centers and the tax abatements the city provides to data centers. Specifically, I'd like to request that you update the data center FAQ the city graciously provided right before the election. There are several areas that I think are no longer accurate given some of the contracts signed in the last 2 weeks. The following FAQs are definitely out of date now and now misleading. How many data centers are in Hillsboro? It appears that 12 abatements were approved in the last few weeks, and those will go out to about 2044. Are all data centers the same? It appears that Hillsboro doesn't ask for data center types when approving tax abatements, but of the 12 projects that were approved since the 15th, 3 of them provided details. Those were all AI data centers, which is not represented by the FAQs. Do data centers pay property taxes? Of the 12 that were approved, they were all approved for 100% property tax abatements in their first 5 years. This is at a time when even politicians who months ago supported massive data center development are now calling for a moratorium on data centers. It's pretty questionable. The city is giving billions of dollars in tax breaks, billions. Will mostly be paid, honestly, by the YAC members sitting next to you. Will data centers bring jobs and benefits? It's required in these contracts that data centers provide jobs at more than 102% of the minimum wage, which is less than the average wage on the farms that they've replaced. These are not high-wage jobs we hope for. And with the cost of tax payments per job, we taxpayers are paying about $700,000 per year per job. In the end, while the timing of data centers seeking a sale that we've offered them for years now may be the result of a state bill, the 20 years of failed economic development policy that it represents is squarely in the city's court. And it's a failure we'll be paying for decades. The city's economic development is still fighting the battles of the 90s, looking for more land, looking for more tax breaks to give away, while chasing after investment. But the investment we've seen is buying servers and pouring concrete on world-class farm soils, investment that pays dividends to billionaires but doesn't invest in our community. Our kids, my kids, who are watching farmland being bulldozed down the street from their school, West Union, for a data center, will have to breathe the exhaust of diesel generators and have to wonder what's in their well water. All of us who believe in climate change will have to wonder where our food comes from and how we'll build resilient communities. Are we looking at these questions when we approve economic development directions, when the city is demanding more land simply because it's locked up its own industrial land with data centers receiving tax breaks? Well, I agree the city needs to make serious reforms about how it improves enterprise zones, who it allows to lead its economic development department, and what types of businesses it courts. It's absolutely critical the city face up to its failures in how it uses land. Under the circumstances, expansion of the UGB cannot be the city's primary legislative goal in future sessions. In fact, until there is a real plan for economic development that includes and benefits the larger community, and critically, builds climate resilience we'll need in the future, the city should not expand onto the surrounding farmland at all. It is time for accountability, it's time for new plans, and honestly, time for new leadership. Thank you for your time.
Next up is Myrna Munoz. Myrna, you have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Hillsboro City Council. I wish I were surprised to be saying this, but no. Reporting by the Oregonian today confirmed what community advocates have warned for years. Hillsboro is rushing to approve long-term tax subsidy deals for data centers, even as the public cost becomes impossible to ignore. Recent reporting found the top 11 tech company-owned data centers in Hillsboro employ an average of just 26 full-time workers each, while receiving an average of $7.6 million annually in property tax breaks, or roughly $294,000 in tax abatements for every permanent job created. When corporations get nearly $3,000 in tax breaks for each permanent job they create, that is not economic development. It's corporate welfare. For every one of those jobs, Our communities are giving away enough money to keep teachers in classrooms, which lowers class sizes, and protect the health and safety programs our community depends on. In Washington County, this lost revenue could help prevent teacher layoffs, preserve student supports, and fund the kind of public health every child deserves. Instead, we're subsidizing server racks while our schools and health systems fall apart. The public was told these giveaways were about jobs. They are not. They're about giving massive long-term tax breaks to some of the wealthiest corporations in the world, while working families are left to absorb the cost. I've been knocking on some doors recently, and you'll be shocked to hear you are out of touch. This community agrees that those dollars should be going into our classrooms and health and safety needs, not into tax shelters for billion-dollar tech companies. I will continue to fight for our community to have justice with respect to being heard, seen, and represented. We do not wish to be on sale. Thank you.